Good morning, everyone. It's Lynn Dunn from Stamptastic Designs. Thanks so much for joining me today. So today I'm going to focus on the January paper pumpkin kit. I actually didn't get my kit, but I borrowed my granddaughter's kit so that I could show you a couple of fun card ideas that you can create with the exclusive stamp set that is in the kit and with some of the supplies. So here are some of the cards that I'm going to focus on today. So I actually used most of the supplies from the kit, but I did add a few of my own supplies. So I'll kind of show you that. But this is the kit that we're going to focus on. So there were enough supplies in this kit to create 9 cards, so three of each of the three different designs. And so the cards that I'm sharing today are just a little different layout. And like I said, I used some additional supplies, but I still used some of the little lock and keys from this particular kit. So I hope you guys enjoy these. So good morning. Good morning. All right. So let's get going with making these cards. So these are just a few of the cards. I have lots of different card ideas to share with you. But let's start with this one. Now, this one, I've showed this design before, and I keep telling you guys that you can reuse your designs over and over again. So this is one of my favorite designs because you can create any little focal point in the center. And I thought, this little lock here was perfect to put right in the center of this card. So what I'm doing for this card is I'm using some of the Butterfly Kisses designer series paper. So there's lots of designer series paper in this pack. But the one that I focused in on was the Calypso Coral. So with my lighting, it might not look like Calypso Coral, but this is Calypso Coral. So I used that particular uh, pattern right here, the little hearts. And then the other piece that I used, you might notice the little keys here with the purple. So does anybody know where that came from? I'll give you a second because I'm going to grab my stuff here. So that came from actually the coordinating envelopes that were in this particular paper pumpkin kit. So I like to cut apart my envelopes. So I'm going to show you what I did. So basically, I just took the envelope and put it in my paper trimmer. And I just kind of got as close as I could to the edge here to just cut this little piece off. So I just cut off the edge. And then I flipped it over and I lined it up at the 5.5 inch mark. And then I just cut off the other side. And then so by doing that, it opens up the envelope. So you're basically just kind of cutting off that fold. And then I just put my envelope in and just kind of cut it down. So we'll cut that off. So this side is 5.5. And then this side, I just kind of cut down to about, it's a little more than 4, but I just kind of followed where the score line is on the envelope and just cut across. And so that'll leave you with about a 5.5 and 4 1/8, I think, inch piece that you can use in your card making. And then you can cut this piece down too. You just cut off the edges. So I just kind of chopped it. That's basically what I did. I just chopped off these edges. Didn't really measure it. And then I just this is the part where the gummy part of the envelope. So I just lined this up in here and just chopped that off. So you end up with a couple of pieces that you can use in your card making. So that's what I did. So I used these to create some fun little cards. So this first card features some little scraps. So I just kind of used this little scrap piece and just cut some pieces for this card. So the card is basically just a white card base. So I started with a white card base. And then I cut 6 pieces of designer paper, or 6 pieces, including the envelope. I'm counting the envelope as designer paper. So these pieces were from that Butterfly Kisses designer series paper, and then these pieces were from the envelope. And so basically what you do is you start on the left side of the card front and you just start adhering the pieces. So you can see the butterflies on the back. So you just start adhering the pieces. I got a little bit too much glue on here. Just wipe that off. And I just kind of stagger them. So we just kind of go one up and then one kind of down and staggered. And so these pieces are three quarter inches wide by 3 inches. And then this last piece, I just kind of adhere this like kind of straight. So the first two, I kind of turn them a little bit, and then the last one, I adhere kind of straight. And then I go on the other side and I do the same thing, except for I start on the bottom instead of the top. So I start on the bottom and just kind of adhere this one on an angle, and then do the same with this one on an angle. Let's turn it around and put the darker side. So the envelope has kind of like an ombre look to it. So it's kind of darker here and then gets a little lighter towards the bottom. And then we'll add this last piece. And then this piece just kind of goes straight so that you have, a little bit of color on each side of your card base. And then I just cut a rectangular shape just to go right in the center. You can use any shape you want, but I find the rectangular shape kind of fits better. And I used the stitched rectangle dies. So this piece is about 2 1/8 by 3.5 inches. So that's what this piece is. So I'm just going to take one of the images from this stamp set, and actually I'll show you the images right away. So this is the exclusive stamp set that came in the kit. So I used a lot of these different images to create some of the cards that I'm sharing with you today. So I just used the one that says, "You hold the key to my heart," and just stamp that on the bottom. So again, if you don't have this stamp set, you can still, or the kit or the stamp set, you can still use this design with any supplies that you have on hand. So I'm just using the fresh freesia. That's what came in the kit. That's the ink that came in the kit. And we'll just add this to our card front. And see, it fits like perfectly right in the center there. It just overlaps onto that designer paper. And then I just took one of the locks from the kit and I just added some dimensionals. As soon as I can grab them, I'll add them. All right, so then we just add this right in the center and you just have an adorable little card. And then I just added a couple little pearls of my own to this particular card, and then just added some additional pieces on the inside just to kind of decorate the inside. So it's a really simple card and it's a great way to use up your scraps. And it's a great way to showcase this fun little, these fun little locks that came in the kit. All right, so I'm going to put this one to the side. And then I'm going to show you this next one. So for this next one, I kind of went with monochromatic style. So I just used the fresh freesia. Sorry about the glare, but I have some gold foil paper on here. So that's the glare that you're getting. But I just created kind of a fun little design using one of the images from the set. So there's this little image right here, this little heart lock. And so I just stamped that image on a scrap piece of paper, and then I just cut it out with one of the Stylish Shapes dies. And so actually I'll just adhere this together. So I cut the small circle out with the Stylish Shape dies, and then the larger circle, I use the layering circle dies. So you could just use the layering circle dies if you want, but I like the kind of the little stitching that those Stylish Shapes dies put in there. So that's how I created the focal point, just stamping that on a scrap piece of paper and cutting it out, and then I have a nice little focal point. So I'm using fresh freesia in the background, and I have a couple of pieces here. The white piece is 2.5. So this white piece is 2.5 by 5.5. So that's just going to go right down the center of the card. And I embossed it with the Quatrefoil and 3D embossing or Quatrefoil embossing folder, I think is what it's called. I know that's on back order right now or not available. But you can use any embossing folder. You don't have to use the one that I used. And then I just have a 3 by 4-inch piece of this foil. So I'll try not to get that in the light here. But what I did is just added some glue right down the center of this. And then I adhered it behind my white cardstock. So it just gives it, a little bit of shimmer. And then I can go ahead and adhere this to the card front. So you can add foil, the gold foil, you can add glimmer paper, you can add regular cardstock, whatever you want to add behind there, designer paper. I kind of stuck with the gold because a lot of the pieces in this month's kit had little gold embossing on it, so I kind of stuck with the gold. All right, so that is the background of the card. And then our little focal point's going to go here. And then I was just kind of using up some of the scraps of the envelope. So I just have a 1-inch wide piece of the envelope. You can use designer paper across here. So it's just 1 by 2.5. And I just put this right, kind of lined it up with the foil, just to kind of break this up a little bit. Where did I put my dimensionals? Here they are. Let's pop this up. So the cool thing about this is you can make this any color you want. I stuck with the ink colors that were in the kit, the purple here, but you can make this red or pink or whatever color you want. So we'll add that. And then I just took a little, this is about a 1/2 inch wide scrap piece of white cardstock. And I'm just going to stamp one of the greetings on it. So let me get this set up here. And we'll just use that purple ink, that fresh freesia. I'll turn this around. And we'll go as far over as I can. And then I just use my scissors just to snip off the end. So I don't really measure. I just stamp, snip, and then stick it to my project. That's basically what I do. So let's add a couple dimensionals to the back of this. We'll put one more in the middle. And then I just take this and pop it up right down on the bottom here. So it's a pretty simple design, kind of fun. I don't know if I decorated the inside. I did not do anything on the inside of this one. But you could easily stamp, the little lock, this little lock on the inside and add some of that designer paper, some of that envelope on the inside to decorate it. All right, so that is the second card. And, whoops, let's get this out of the way. And then this is the third one that I want to just kind of show you how to make. It's very simple. I used some of that designer paper from the Butterfly Kisses designer series paper pack. And this is a big piece of the envelope. So when you cut down the envelope, the keys will run this direction. And so this is 5.5 long. That's what I did. And then I just cut this piece down to 2 inches. So that's what I'm going to use for this card. Now um, I ran out of this Calypso coral one, but there are little Mango Melody colored locks in here. So we're going to create this with the Mango Melody one and see how it turns out. And you guys tell me, which one should I use? This one is more Mango Melody. This came from the Playing in the Rain, or the Rain or Shine collection. So that's that particular designer paper. And then this one came from the Dandy Designs. So this one is more the mango. This one is probably more daffodil. So you want me to use the stars? Should I use the stars or the flowers? You guys decide. I'll put this to the side here. I couldn't quite decide what I wanted to do. The stars, although it's not mango, it's pretty close. So I don't think you'd notice the difference. So the first thing, oops, let's turn this around. I want to put the darker side towards the top. So the first thing I did is just adhere this piece that I cut from the envelope on the right side of the card. And now we can either do the stars or we could do the flowers. Everybody's saying stars, stars, stars. Flowers are too busy. Okay, we'll go with the stars. I guess stars wins. So this piece is 1.5. No, I'm sorry, excuse me. It's 1 3/4 inches wide, and it's 4.5 inches long. So it's just this one's a 2 by 5.5, and this is a 1 3/4 by 4.5. It's got flowers on the back. So we'll add this. And then the next thing I did is just cut I think this is a 3-inch circle. Let me look here. Yep. This is a 3-inch circle shape. So I'm going to use some of the little hearts from the kit. So there's this little image here that is a bunch of little hearts. And let's stamp these on, like, in the background. So I'm just going to stamp on the left side, and then I'm going to stamp on the right side. And then this just goes right in the center. So we can just pop that up. So I thought kind of stamping the hearts in the background was kind of just a fun way to highlight, the little lock. So we'll add this. And I think that was a good choice, the stars. I like the stars. And then we'll just stamp our little greeting. So I just have a little scrap piece here. And we'll stamp our greeting on there. And then add that. Here we go. Nope. Looking for my dimensionals. So this piece, I think I did measure this one. This one I just cut at 2.5 inches long. So it's a 1/2 inch wide, it's 2.5 inches long. And then I just stamped that greeting right in the center. And then we can pop this up right on the bottom here. And then you can decorate it with, pearls or whatever you want to add. So I think the stars was a good selection. Thank you for helping me make that decision. I like flowers, but the stars were good. All right, so that is the third card that I wanted to share with you. And I'll bring these back in just a minute, but I want to show you some other cards. First, I actually should have showed you the cards from the kit. So I always make up a set of cards from the kit. So that's what I have here. This is just some of the cards that you can create. This one has a little peek hole in it. So you can create these cards with the supplies that come in the kit. So those are three. And then I took, all these, like on this card, there's two little locks. On this one, there's three. So because I didn't create all the cards, I had a lot of extra little locks and keys that I could create other projects. So I'm going to show you some of those other projects. So here's one that I created. I just added, some of that envelope right across the center. These were the actual card bases in this particular kit. So it has like this gold embossing in the background. So I just kind of played around with it. I made that one. And then this one I think is one of my favorites just because it has that large circle. So it kind of breaks up all that gold. And then I just stamped a bunch of hearts around there and added a little lock and key in the center there. So that's another one. And then this one, I just used up some of the petal pink color and just kind of made it monochromatic and used up one of these circles. The circle was in the kit. This is vellum and that was in the kit. So, and then I took one of those card bases and I want to show you that. So let me grab this. So I took one of these card bases and I cut it apart and I cut it apart into 4 by 5 1/4 inch pieces. And so I used the front part on this card. So this piece, I cut this off from the card base and I used it on this card and I just adhered this to one of these card bases so that I had that gold shining behind it. You could also make this into a shaker card. I've seen that too. And then that left me, when I cut this card apart, that left me with this purple watercolor section. And with that, I created a different card. So here's that purple watercolor section. I just used it as a background for this card and added some of the envelope and a greeting. And then again, this is just a stamped image from the set. So I did that. And then just another little design. I was kind of using up there were some large purple pieces. I think I cut them all apart. But like they were, I don't know if these go together, but they were that long. So I just kind of cut them in half and then used them as a kind of a little focal point here for my stamped image. So that's what I did with that. And then this is the last one that I created. So just kind of some fun cards. I don't know if I can get them all on here. I'll bring all the rest of them back too so you can see all these cards together. See if I can get them all on the screen. There we go. That's close. Close enough. All right. So anyways, so that's what I did with the kit. Like I said, I don't know if you guys were on at the beginning, but I didn't get my kit this month. So I was kind of disappointed that I didn't get my kit. So it's lost somewhere. But I actually started a paper pumpkin kit for my granddaughter. So she got hers. So her and I played around with her kit and then I borrowed her kit so that I could make these cards for you guys today. So when I get my kit, I'll have to replace that. I'll have to give it back to my granddaughter. So, but I had a lot of fun with this kit. Created some fun little cards, some different things that you can do with the kit supplies. Um, this month, I'm also starting a new little program. So every month, I'm going to offer a tutorial. It has 12 different card ideas in it. And I've partnered with some other demonstrators to put together this tutorial. So there's 12 different ideas, different from what you guys see here. that you can use to play around with your kit. So the card ideas, well, they're card ideas and project ideas. So they're not necessarily all card ideas. But if you want to see a sneak peek of the tutorial for this kit, I did link to that in the description with this video, so you can go check that out. So if you are one of my Paper Pumpkin subscribers, you will be getting the tutorial. I'll send that out um, probably today. I'll probably send that out today to you if it is complete. So you'll be getting a tutorial. I thought it was kind of fun to partner with other people and come up with kind of a combined tutorial that we can share with you. So anyways, you can go check that out. If you are not a subscriber, you should definitely become a subscriber because these kits are really a lot of fun to play with. I love creating my own cards, but I like getting these kits and making the cards that are in the kit and then kind of challenging myself to make something else. So I hope you guys enjoyed these card ideas. I will get these out on the blog later today. So in the meantime, I hope you guys have a wonderful Sunday and a great week, and I will see you guys again next week. So take care, everybody.